dream I know, deep up my feelings for you.
Governors under the aegis of the Nigeria Governor Forum have said that the 60,000 minimum wage proposal was not sustainable and can't afford to pay. Moving on, we have Atiku said that Ningi's voice cannot be suspended from people's heart. But guys, before we commence fully, welcome back to Reality Latest, just your home of news and politics. Thank you so much for joining us on today's news. If today is your first time of watching, kindly subscribe, like, comment, share, and also turn notification bell to get notified whenever we drop our video. To all amazing subscribers, thank you so much for joining us. So guys, let's proceed. The governors under the aegis of the Nigeria Forum said that the 60,000 minimum wage proposal was not sustainable and it can't fly. They said if they try it, a few states will end up borrowing to pay workers every month because they do not think this will be in the collective interest of the country, including workers. According to the governors, he said if they sustain the proposal of 60,000 minimum wage by the federal government, it would result in many states spending all the Federation Account Allocation Committee allocation on just paying salaries with nothing left for development proposal. So a statement that was issued on Friday by the Nigeria Governor Forum Acting Director of Media and Public Affairs, Hajia Halima Saliu, titled "The Forum Stand on the 60,000 minimum wage not sustainable." The Nigeria Governor Forum agrees that a new minimum wage is due, that the forum also sympathizes with the labor union in their push for higher wages. But the forum urges all parties to consider the fact that the minimum wage negotiations also involve consequential adjustments across all categories, including pensioners. They also caution parties in this important discussion to look beyond just signing a document for the sake of it, that any agreement to be signed should be sustainable and realistic. They said all things should be considered. In that case, the Nigeria Governor Forum that the 60,000 minimum wage proposal is not sustainable and it can't fly. It simply means that many states will spend all their allocations on just pay salaries with nothing left for development purposes. A few states will end up borrowing to pay workers every month, so they do not think this will be a collective interest of the people, including workers. So they are appealing to all parties involved, especially the labor union, should consider all the socio-economic variables and settle for an agreement that is sustainable and durable and fair to all other segments of the society who have a legitimate claim to public resources. You guys can recall that members of the organized labor, comprising the Nigeria Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress, had on Tuesday suspended their strike for 5 days. Strike, which commenced on Monday, was called to protest the failure of the federal government to approve a new minimum wage by May 31st, as well as their failure to reverse the hike in electricity tariff. Also, you guys can recall that after a 6-hour meeting with the leadership of the organized labor in Abuja on Monday night, the federal government expressed the commitment of President Bola Tinubu to raising the 60,000 offer as the minimum wage. So the agreement stated that the President of Nigeria, Commander-in-Chief of the Army Force, is committed to establishing a national minimum wage higher than 60,000, and the tripartite committee will convene daily for the next week to finalize an agreeable national minimum wage. So the organized labor agreed to immediately hold meeting of their organs to consider the new offer, and no worker would face victimization as a consequence of participating in the industrial action. This resolution were signed on behalf of the federal government by Minister of Information and National Orientation Mohammed Idris and Minister of State for Labour and Employment Nkiruka. So now the governors are saying that they cannot pay because if they start it, it will end up, using the federal allocation to pay workers, and they will forget about the purpose of that allocation that has been located to them. So they don't want to start what they will not finish. So guys, I would like to know your thoughts, your contributions, opinions are in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. Moving on to the next one. The 2023 presidential candidate of the People Democratic Party in the 2023 general election, Atiku, described the senator representing Bauchi North Senatorial District, Abdul Ningi, as the bearer of true conscience. In his post via his X handle on Friday, Atiku said that Ningi's voice represents the voice of truth and it cannot be suspended from the people's hearts. The PDP chieftain asserted that Ningi and every other politician who has a true conscience are welcome to his home. Atiku said that the voice of truth which Senator Ningi represents cannot be suspended from his heart and from the heart of the people. and every bearer of true conscience is welcome to his house. You guys can recall that on Tuesday, Senator Ningi returned to the National Assembly 75 days after he was suspended by the Senate. Ningi's suspension by the Senate on March 12, 2024 stemmed from a controversial interview in which he alleged discrepancies in the 2024 budget, claiming that the National Assembly approved 25 trillion while the president signed 28.7 trillion. So in that interview with BBC, he claimed that the sum of 3.7 in the 2024 budget was not traceable to any project of location. So he had difficultly defend the allegation on the floor of the Senate when taken on, leading to his suspension for 3 months. Following his suspension, Ningi lost his position as chairman of the Committee on National Identity and Population, which was taken over by Mustafa Musa, APC Yombe East. So he was also replaced by Senator Abdulaziz Yar'Adua, representing Katsina Central, as the chairman of the Northern Senator Forum. So last week Tuesday, the Senator Minority Leader Abba Murray, PDP Benue South, pleaded with the senators in a motion during plenary to recall Ningi, who had already spent 75 days on suspension. The prayer was subsequently granted. On Tuesday, Ningi arrived at the National Assembly complex alongside with Suleiman and Aminu Waziri Tabuwa, among others. So speaking on the floor of the Senate on Tuesday, Ningi told his colleague that it was time to move on. That's just as the Senate president had welcomed him on behalf of the other Senate, saying that bygones should be bygones. Citing Order 42 of the Senate Standing Rules, Ningi thanked his colleague for the gesture, stating that he was away in Turkey when the news got to him last week, and is very much appreciative of the gesture. So he's happy to be back at home because the National Assembly is like home to him, having served as House Leader and Deputy Senator Leader in the past, and now as one of the distinguished 7 senators. So he also thanked his state governor Bala Mohammed, the people of Bauchi State, and other Nigeria who reached out to him in one way or the other during that period he was away. And he has now been put behind everything that happened. Responding on behalf of the Senate President Godswill Akpabio described Ningi as a resourceful person who is indeed in the 10th Senate, and he asked him to let bygones be bygones. My people, don't be small matter. Senator Ningi don't forgive all the Senate that had hands in his suspension. That is why Atiku said that he's a true leader. And also, his voice cannot be suspended from people's heart. So guys, I would like to know your thoughts, your contributions, opinions are in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. Once again, thank you so much for staying to us. But if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube page yet, please do not forget to like and subscribe, and also share. Don't forget the notification bell to get notified whenever we drop our video, because I'm sure you don't want to miss out the trend and latest news happening on social media. To all our amazing subscribers, thank you so much for staying to us. To all our viewers, thank you so much for staying to us. On this note, we have come to the end of today's segment. Till I come your winners, stay safe guys. Bye.